Welcome to the Autism Infocast. I'm Peter Clark, founder and chairman of the Autism Info Center. Our podcasts delve into every part of autism and neurodiversity, and we want to help you spread understanding, respect, and kindness for those whose lives are affected. Whether you're autistic yourself, or whether you know or care for someone who's autistic, or maybe you just come into contact with autistic people in everyday life. Either way, please feel free to check out our hundreds of articles, videos, books, and training courses at autisminfocenter.org. And I'll leave you now in the capable hands of today's hosts, Jemima and Theo. Over to you.
Welcome to the podcast. Today we're navigating a topic that's, it's complex for a lot of people, finding the right career. But it often presents, a really unique set of considerations for autistic individuals. Things like decoding application forms or managing the social side of interviews. They can feel like pretty big hurdles.
We really can.
But here's the thing, and this is really what we want to explore today. Autistic people bring some incredible, often really distinct strengths to the workplace.
Absolutely. Strengths that employers, especially forward-thinking ones, are actually starting to actively look for.
Right. So our mission with this podcast is to give you a kind of practical guide.
Yeah.
Moving beyond just, getting a job towards really thriving in a role that values what you uniquely bring.
And that word thriving is so important, isn't it?
It really is.
It shifts the whole conversation. It's not just about making allowances. It's about actively using that different perspective. That's what leads to, successful and sustainable careers.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. What really makes an autistic person a valuable employee right now? I mean, often the focus tends to be on the challenges, doesn't it?
It does, unfortunately.
But thinking differently doesn't just mean facing difficulties. It actually means having skills that are, frankly, highly sought after, skills that give a real competitive edge.
It's less about fixing deficits and more about a kind of fundamental shift in how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Identifying and, crucially, being able to talk about your distinctive strengths.
Yeah.
It's not just what you can do, but the unique way you approach things.
And when we talk about those qualities, some really powerful advantages often come up, like attention to detail and accuracy.
Oh, definitely.
Many autistic individuals have this almost uncanny ability to really scrutinize things, spot tiny inconsistencies, ensure precision. It's more than just being careful,
It's like an inbuilt quality control.
Exactly. It's this deep capacity for finding errors, ensuring quality, hugely valuable in fields like, software testing, finance, research.
Anywhere precision matters, really.
Then there's deep focus and expertise.
Right.
We hear the term hyperfocus a lot, and it's a profound strength, that ability to just zone in, sustained, undistracted, focus on something that interests you.
Right.
It leads to incredible productivity, obviously, but also to developing really deep, specialized knowledge. You become the go-to person.
Yeah. You can achieve a level of mastery or spot insights that others might just miss because they haven't gone that deep.
Totally.
And, while that laser focus is a huge plus, it's also fair to say it sometimes needs managing, right? Like needing clear breaks or help shifting between tasks.
That's a good point.
An employer who gets it might use clear schedules or visual timers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It helps maximize that focus without causing burnout.
Makes sense. Another big one is honesty and loyalty, often a very direct communication style.
Yes. Straightforward.
Yeah, less about social niceties maybe and more about clarity. Plus, often incredible dedication to the work and the employer. That builds trust, reduces turnover, you get straight answers, and a really dependable team member.
Which is hugely valuable in any team.
Absolutely. And finally, let's touch on logical thinking and problem solving. A real aptitude for systematic thought, spotting patterns, tackling problems analytically.
Often in quite innovative ways.
Yes. It's not just about being good at maths or something simple. It's that ability to dissect complex issues, optimize how things work, find elegant solutions where maybe others just see, chaos.
Think about data analysis, logistics, engineering, even scientific discovery.
Exactly. So these qualities, they aren't just nice to have quirks. They're fundamentally valuable. Any employer serious about innovation, precision, dedication, they should be looking for these strengths.
They really should.
So once you've kind of embraced those strengths, the next step, logically, is figuring out where they'll best flourish, right? Which means looking beyond just the job title to the actual environment. Because finding the right fit, it's not just about what you do, but also where and how you do it.
Context is everything.
definitely. So 2 key things to think about here. First, aligning roles with your interests. This isn't just about liking your job. It's about leveraging that deep passion, that existing knowledge that often comes with special interests.
Tapping into that intrinsic motivation.
Exactly. So if you're fascinated by, say, complex systems, maybe look at IT architecture or logistics or even something like detailed historical research. If patterns are your thing, maybe data science, quality control, even certain kinds of art or music.
Yeah.
Your natural drive and the knowledge you already have give you a massive head start. It makes the work itself just way more engaging.
Less like work, more like flow.
Right. Second, and this is crucial, considering the sensory environment. This gets missed a lot in standard job hunts.
Hugely important.
You really need to think about potential sensory triggers. Do fluorescent lights just drain you? Does the constant buzz of an open-plan office feel like overload? Are strong perfumes or sudden changes in routine really disruptive for you?
Knowing those answers helps you evaluate options.
Totally. Would a quiet, predictable office work best? Or maybe a remote role? Or perhaps something more hands-on, practical, maybe in a workshop setting? Finding an environment that feels comfortable is key for sustainability.
What's really interesting here is how this shifts the job search. It's not just matching skills on a list anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes this holistic thing about well-being, about long-term success, finding a place where you can actually be your most effective self day in, day out.
And building on that, it's really worth actively looking for autism-friendly employers.
Yes, organizations that walk the talk.
Exactly. Look for companies that don't just have a diversity statement buried somewhere, but actually show commitment. Like in the UK, there's the Disability Confidence Scheme. That's a good indicator.
Right. Employers who sign up to that, especially at the higher levels, are often doing things like guaranteeing interviews if you meet the basic criteria, or providing specific manager training on neurodiversity.
Yeah, maybe mentorship programs, flexible working options designed around diverse needs. It signals they're actually invested in recruiting and, importantly, retaining autistic talent.
Shows a level of understanding and commitment.
Okay, so with all that in mind, strengths identified, environment considered, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The application process itself. That first hurdle.
The gateway.
Yeah, and this is where being strategic really pays off. First up, crafting your CV. Clarity, conciseness, still key. Focus on skills, results, qualifications. Simple layout, bullet points make it easy to scan.
Standard good advice, but maybe with a twist.
Exactly. Think about how you phrase things to reflect your strengths, instead of maybe a generic team player. You could highlight being an effective contributor to group projects by ensuring data accuracy and meeting all deadlines. Be specific about your contribution.
Focus on the tangible results of your way of working.
Right. Then there's navigating application forms. These can be tricky, especially questions based on, let's say, neurotypical social assumptions, like the classic, describe a time you worked as part of a team.
Yeah, those can feel like traps sometimes.
So the advice here is usually stick to the facts. What did you actually do? What was the process? What were the results? Focus on your specific actions and contributions rather than trying to describe complex social dynamics.
And it's okay to get help with this, right?
Oh, absolutely. A careers advisor can be brilliant here. They can help you translate your experiences into the kind of language employers are looking for.
Which leads us neatly into a really big consideration, the disclosure dilemma.
Ah, yes. To tell or not to tell.
And honestly, there's no single right answer. It's deeply personal. On one hand, telling an employer early, maybe on the application or before the interview, has benefits.
Like requesting adjustments.
Exactly. It allows you to ask for reasonable adjustments for the interview, which we'll talk more about. It can also explain maybe gaps in work history or a communication style that might seem different.
Okay, so potential upsides. What about the risks?
Well, the reality is, despite best intentions and policies, unconscious bias still exists. Some employers might, unfortunately, react negatively, even subtly. So because of that risk, many people choose to wait, maybe disclose at the interview stage, or even wait until they have a job offer.
Gives them a chance to see the culture first, perhaps.
Perhaps, or just control the timing. So this raises a really important question for you, the listener. How do you weigh that up? The potential need for support versus the potential risk of bias. What feels right and strategic for your situation?
That's a really key personal decision to make. Okay, let's assume you've got through the application stage. Now the interview. This can definitely be a big source of anxiety.
Understandably so. They often rely heavily on unspoken social rules and performing under pressure.
But, and this is crucial, Thorough preparation, especially preparation that understands neurodiversity, can make a massive difference.
Preparation is power here.
So let's talk preparation steps. Obviously, research the company, the role that's standard, but go deeper. Try to anticipate specific questions and prepare structured answers.
Like using the STAR method.
Exactly. Situation, task, action, result. It gives you a clear, factual framework to talk about your experiences. It really helps organize your thoughts.
Take some of the on-the-spot pressure off.
It does. And don't be afraid to prepare notes and take them in with you. Seriously, it often looks like you're prepared and thorough, not forgetful.
Good point.
And practice. Practice your answers out loud with a friend, family member, a careers coach, maybe through somewhere like Job Center Plus. Rehearsing helps it stick, reduces the mental load in the actual interview.
And this is where knowing your rights really comes in handy. You mentioned requesting reasonable adjustments.
Yes, absolutely vital.
Under the Equality Act 2010 here in the UK, employers have a legal duty to make reasonable adjustments so that a disabled person, including autistic people, isn't at a disadvantage during recruitment.
It's about fairness, not favors.
Precisely. It's about equitable assessment. So what kind of adjustments could you ask for? Well, you could request the interview questions in advance.
That would allow time to process and prepare properly.
Exactly. You could ask for a quiet waiting area to avoid sensory overload before you even start. You might ask if part of the interview could be a practical task related to the job, rather than just talking.
Letting you show your skills directly.
Right. Or, a common one, asking the interviewers to use really clear, literal language. Avoid those ambiguous, hypothetical, or rhetorical questions that can be hard to interpret.
These adjustments, they're all about creating a level playing field, aren't they?
Totally.
So you can genuinely show what you can do. You're assessed on your actual competence, not how well you perform neurotypical social conventions under pressure.
It allows your actual talents to shine through.
Okay. So we've covered a lot: strengths, finding the right fit, applications, interviews. But it's really important to say, you don't have to do all this alone.
Absolutely not. There's support out there.
Yes, there's a whole ecosystem of organizations and services designed specifically to help.
Which is great news.
Definitely. So just to give some examples, again, focusing on the UK for a moment, you've got organizations like the National Autistic Society, the NES. They often have employment services, help with work experience.
Valuable resources.
Then there's Job Center Plus. They can connect you with disability employment advisors who should have some understanding of neurodiversity. And government schemes like the Work and Health Program offer tailored support.
Right.
Plus, there are lots of specialist employability programs run by charities or social enterprises. These are often specifically designed to help autistic individuals build job skills and gain confidence for the workplace.
They really aim to bridge that gap between having the potential and actually landing and keeping a good job.
Exactly. They're there to help turn potential challenges into actual opportunities.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, these support systems are crucial, aren't they? They provide the tools, the guidance, sometimes just the encouragement needed to build that bridge into a fulfilling work life.
So just to kind of wrap up the main points here, while this whole path to employment can have its unique bumps in the road, it is so important to remember and to champion the unique and valuable strengths you bring.
Hold on to those.
Yeah. By focusing strategically on roles that are a good fit for your skills and your sensory needs, by preparing really thoroughly and smartly for applications and interviews, and by feeling confident enough to advocate for the adjustments you need, you can absolutely navigate this successfully.
It's achievable.
Totally. A fulfilling, rewarding career, one where you can genuinely flourish, is entirely within your reach. So, maybe a final thought to leave you with. How might approaching your career journey, and maybe even life in general, through the lens of your authentic neurodivergent strengths, how might that unlock possibilities and pathways to success you hadn't even considered before? Thanks for listening to this Autism Infocast from the autisminfocenter.org.
Thank you, Jemima and Theo. I'm sure we've all learned something there today. Don't forget to visit autisminfocenter.org to hear our other episodes, browse our library of articles, see our inspiring range of books, watch our videos about autism and neurodiversity, and find out about training courses that can help you or your organization make the world a safer, happier, and more meaningful place for us all. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please feel free to spread the word about Autism Info Center. A quick mention on your socials is always appreciated. Until next time, this is Peter Clark from autisminfocenter.org. Have a great day.